everybody, welcome to the channel, Josh's Barefoot Shoes Reviews. I'm Josh, here with another review, and today it's an extra special one. I'm reviewing what could well be the most comfortable barefoot shoe I've ever worn. No kidding, and I've had them for months to prove that out. So, who's the company? Earthing Moccasins. Earthing Moccasins, and the model is a custom moccasin. Now, this particular one is called the leaf model. Leaf, like a leaf on a tree. But they do have about 20 different models. So if you don't like this particular style, you know, they have a lot of different stuff on their sandals, low tops, high tops, boots, laces, no laces, all kinds of men's, women's, children's, all kinds of stuff. Maybe more than 20 models. I don't know, but it's a lot. And you can either do custom moccasins made for your feet, or you can buy a DIY kit and fully do the thing yourself. It comes with patterns and tutorials and materials and all that stuff. Or you can do the custom made moccasins like I did. So they do the work, okay? All right, so that's it. Custom made moccasins, and like I said, this is the most comfortable barefoot shoe I have ever worn, hands down. I gotta say it. That's the best thing that's the best vouch I can give for any company or any shoe. It's super comfortable, amazing. We're gonna get into it, but first, the company, Earthing Moccasins. It's just a couple. It's a married couple, Joachim and Lugaya. They live in France. They have a child, and they just live in a small country house in France and make moccasins, sell them at markets, and sell them online. They do the custom moccasins or the DIY kits, okay? Lugaya, the wife, she's the one that originally, way back when she's a teenager, she learned to sew, and then as she got into like college years, early 20s, that kind of thing, she was living a very nomadic, sort of hippie lifestyle, traveling country to country. Indonesia, Bali, Australia, Canary Islands, all kinds of places. Living communally, living under tarps, living in tents, barefoot in the jungles. She came across these moccasins that someone was wearing, and she fell in love with them, and she had to have a pair. She found, well, where do you get these? Where do you get these? Some guy came to that country, old man, master craftsman, would come every so often to that particular country and sell his moccasins. And so she latched onto him the next time he came. She basically apprenticed for him, learned the skill from this master moccasin craftsman, and made a few hundred pairs under his tutelage, basically, and then launched out on her own, making her own moccasins, selling them online, selling them in markets. She developed eventually the tutorials and the DIY kits and things like that, sold them on Etsy, created a little company, eventually met her husband, Joachim, taught him to make moccasins too. They eventually had a child, and now they live in France in a little country home, like I said. Talk about a mom and pop shop. Talk about artisans, handmade excellence. I mean, there's a million and one reasons to want to support Earthing Moccasins, and that's one of them. But secondly, you get an amazing product. Okay, natural, minimalist, custom fit, custom made, handmade, handcrafted, bespoke, custom barefoot moccasins. They fit like a glove. They're made in France by this couple, Joachim and Lugaya. Obviously, all the barefoot shoe values are intact here. It's a moccasin. Super. Zero drop is the first barefoot shoe value. Zero drop from heel to toe, perfectly flat. Secondly, no arch support on the inside. It's just a piece of leather. There's no sole there. No. Shaped like a human foot, yes. But even better, not just shaped like any human foot, but shaped like your human foot, all right? So, shaped like a human foot, wide toe box. Maybe you need a narrow toe box. You get a narrow toe box. Whatever toe box you need, you can get with these. They're custom made for you. Fourth barefoot shoe value, thin, flexible soles with good ground feel. Yeah, all day long. Look at this. I mean, maybe the most flexible soles I've ever seen. You can do rubber or leather soles on there. We'll get into that. But yeah, that was the roll test. You saw that. Here's the hot dog bun test. But not only does it do a hot dog bun test, you can actually roll it the hot dog bun direction. Check that out. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that before. And then twisty test, yes, of course. Wave test, not a problem at all. It's just a thin piece of leather and then an extra sole that's either rubber or leather, depending on what you want to do with it, okay? So as minimalist, as lightweight, and we crumble it up in a ball, whatever you want to do with it, it's the most amazing, comfortable, soft, plush, supple, wonderful shoe. I can't say enough about it, okay? You're already reaching the end of the video, the conclusion. You're getting my conclusions right now. These things are freaking amazing. And breathable, no smell. These things are actually recommended to wear with no socks. You can wear them with socks. It doesn't hurt, of course. But shockingly, as I've said, I've worn these 20 plus miles, not to mention literally months, wearing them every day in my house. My feet, you know, they sweat, they stink. Other shoes I have stink. I can stick my nose right in these things, all I smell is the beautiful smell of leather. So that's some miracle of leather, because that's all it is. There's no weird materials in there to make your funk stink. All right, maybe eventually, I don't know, but it's some kind of miracle as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, no stink, highly breathable, long lasting. They form perfectly to your feet like a glove, as I said. Now, this particular model, the Leaf model, I got because it's one of the ones recommended for higher volume and extra wide toe box feet, which I have. So I opted for this model. There's some other ones that do that too. But part of the process with these is you actually end up gluing your own sole. So that's a key thing to know. You ordering them custom, but you do end up gluing your own sole on there. They provide the sole as part of the custom deal, but you glue it on there yourself. And here's why. Because you get these from the package from them. First of all, what does the process look like? You trace your feet, you scan that tracing. You take a few pictures of your feet, maybe give them a few measurements. You email them to them, you pay your money. That's the first step. Second step is it takes them about a week or so to make your moccasins based on all this information you gave them. Okay, then they ship them to you. It takes a week or two from France. So again, this is not fast fashion. This is not Amazon, made by a machine, thrown on a shelf, dropped in a truck, and dropped off at your doorstep the next day. Figure on a month or so, for the whole process. It might take more or less depending on how busy they are, whatever. It's a couple, okay? We're not talking about a company with 1,000 employees. It's 2 people in a house in France, all right? So just have that in mind when you order, okay? Have a luxury mindset. Like they're gonna custom make these moccasins just for my feet. It takes whatever it takes, all right? Okay? So then you order them, they ship them to you, then you put them on. It has a sheet of rubber soling in there. You don't do anything with it, you just leave it in the envelope. You put on your moccasins, you wear them for a while. I wore mine for 10 to 20 plus miles on my morning walks. I do a 1 mile walk every morning. I wore them on the sidewalks, on the streets, whatever. For all that distance, and then several months in my house. I just kind of was lazy about getting around to doing the review and the whole process, honestly. So I wore them for a long time, and they custom formed to my feet. And the idea is that it'll make a footprint of your foot on the bottom of the shoe. That's what you're after ultimately, so that you know where to put the sole. That's why they don't glue the sole for you, because they don't want to get it wrong. You want to wear your footprint into the leather and then glue the sole where your foot needs the sole. You do have to buy the glue, okay? I'll drop a link to some glue I bought on Amazon that I used for mine. It works great. It's about 15 bucks. All right. They send you a 3mm sole. I actually opted to go get an even thinner one on Amazon. It was 2.2mm. I wanted to go as thin as I could. I'll drop a link to that too if you want that. But they give you sole with it, so you don't need to do that. But so mine, the thickness, the leather is 2.2mm. My sole is 2.2mm. I'm at a 4.4mm total stack height. If you do the 3mm that they give you, it's like 5mm, 5.5mm, somewhere in there. Amazing. It's super thin, as you saw. Literally you could just crumble these up like a piece of paper, look at that. You can't do that with hardly any shoes out there, even the minimalist ones. Move them any kind of which way. These are the most minimalist shoes you can get. Lightweight, everything you can think of that you want in a minimalist shoe, you get them in Earthing Moccasins. All right. So anyway, so what you do, I'm going to show you the process, actually, what I did here, and then after we're done, I'll show them to you on my feet, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Earthing Moccasins. Okay. price on these guys? That's what you're wondering, right? So if you go the fully custom made where they make them for you, it's $159 US, but you save 10% if you use my discount code in the video description. That saves you about 16 bucks. It brings it down to 143 or so, give or take. And that includes the soles and everything. You just have to glue them on, but it includes the soling material. Or if you do the DIY, this model is $99. Again, you save 10%, I believe, if you use my code. I know you save it on the custom. I'm not 100% sure on the DIY, but I think you save 10%. So $9, $10 off of that, you're down to like 90 bucks for the DIY kit, or 143 for the custom made. And that's this model. As I mentioned, they have like 20 models. They're all vary in prices a little bit, but no matter what you get, you save 10% if you use my code. So guess what? Use my code, save the money, all right? That's it on the price. Okay, so what else? Care for these, you know, it's leather, so maybe a good leather conditioner. I used a mink oil that I got on Amazon. I'll drop a link to that in the video description too if you need some good leather conditioner for any of your good leather shoes anyways, to make the leather last, waterproofs it, does another number of things like that. Okay, so what are my final thoughts? You've probably gathered throughout this video, even from the intro, I'm in love with these things. That's my final thoughts. That's my conclusion. Get them. There's no question. I have no reservation, no hesitation. Like I said, these are the most comfortable pair of barefoot shoes I own out of 100 plus pairs of shoes, 120, 150 pairs. I lost track. And if you want even a chance at having the most comfortable shoes you own, you're going to get yourself a pair of these custom moccasins from Earthing Moccasins and just go for it. They're amazing. Plus you're supporting Joachim and Lugaya and their baby. You're helping support their simple life in the countryside of France. Talk about a mom and pop shop. This is quite literally a mom and pop and their child. And you're supporting them by getting yourself a pair of not just any shoes, but the most comfortable barefoot shoes you've ever owned. So go and do it today. Use my link down below. Save yourself 10%. Beyond all that, thanks for watching the video. Please do the usual YouTube stuff. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify, like, subscribe, and notify so that you catch my videos when they come out. Beyond that, you're going to follow me on Instagram at Barefoot Shoe Josh. Barefoot Shoe Josh on Instagram. I do more detailed reviews there than what I do here on the videos. Plus, cool pics of barefoot shoes like this and many other styles on your Instagram feed. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Grab yourself a pair of Earthing Moccasins. I'll catch you on the next one. We'll see ya.